but the thing
additional
is,
surveys. It just
everybody-
All city council meeting work in order for Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. First order of business is the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda for tonight?
I move to approve the agenda.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in favor, say nay. Passed. The next order of business is the consent agenda, which covers the minutes from 6/16 of 2026, the scheduled claims list, and the special event recreation commission watch party. Do I have a motion for approval?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Passed. The next section is public comments. Quick question, Russ, do you want to have me address why Jeff and Pat are here in this section or later on? Okay, thank you. Do I have anybody in the public that would care to come up and make a comment? If you do, I ask you please approach the podium, provide your name and address. Then you're allowed to speak your piece.
Nope.
Okay, gone. I see nothing there. We have no special reports or presentations tonight. So our first order is old business, the food truck ordinance. So we have that in front of us. And I'll turn it over to the council and let them kind of see what they think. My comment is I know that there was a lot of work and effort went into this to try to make it.
Talk about it, Russ, or you?
So I'll talk
do you
about it.
want
a
me
little
to,
bit.
or it doesn't
Yeah.
matter?
So we can both tag team it.
Yeah.
So this is ordinance 1537. This has kind of been in the works for probably a year and a half, 2 years, about having a mobile food vendors license ordinance. So this was worked on in the CDC committee for a while, and then it went over to public safety. This was worked on through with some of the mobile food truck vendors being a part of the discussions, as well as other business owners here in town with brick and mortar businesses. This ordinance is a result of a compromise between both parties. I think it's good middle ground for. So this would be the first reading of this ordinance. So, and I'll let Jay add anything he would like to say as well.
I mean, I think it's fair. It lets us know when a food truck is in town. Just make sure they have all their license, make sure they're legit, and they're certified through the state. So, and then even if they're on private property, they still have to get the $25 certificate and let the city know. And then they also, I think is good so that the private landowner that they're on, they have to get a signed piece of paper from the private owner with saying they have permission to. So that way they're just not parked in a random parking lot and maybe the owner's out of town or something, doesn't know they're even in their parking lot. So, and then there is like things in there that, like, if a business owner wants to get a food truck and one of them fails, as long as they have the permit, they can fill in with another food truck as long as they provide documentation that they have all their stuff from the state of Kansas as well. That way they're not out the $25. And, if say one of the restaurants or some business wanted to have, a appreciation night or something, and then their food truck bails, they can still have it and get a food truck. So what this won't affect is, like, say Scott has a private party and he wants to have a food truck cater the event. As long as they're not selling to the public, then they don't have to do the they don't have to do the they don't have to go through anything, because it's just you've already vetted them and they're on your land and they're not open for business. Now, if they were open for business, then yeah. But we tried to figure out ways to do it like that as well, to try to help out, because I know people use them for graduation parties or big birthday parties or whatever. So, but I think that's pretty much it, isn't it, Russ? They got to be 200 feet away. If they're in a public street, they got to be 200 feet away from another food establishment. So they can't be infringing on any of our brick and mortars. So,
Bill says they can only engage in activities licensed by this article on improved surfaces in commercial, industrial, and non-residential special purpose zoning districts as defined in Chapter 14, Article 2 of the code. And when you look at that, really the only thing that I think would apply there was the places that doesn't allow parking on the street. It lists those. And I assume that's what this is referring to, is you could do it anywhere except for those places called out in that ordinance.
Yes.
Okay. And the $500,000 insurance, where'd you guys come up with that number?
That was pretty much my understanding is standard procedure for businesses and food trucks. We talked with several different food trucks, and that was basically the minimum. And then we looked at other municipalities and what they're doing, and they seemed to right around that number, or they were actually higher.
The only other thing I had was the additional charge for cleanup in there. How in the world, one, is that something they prepay for? And if they don't, where do you come up with the amount and how do you get them to pay?
that was a very highly debated
Okay.
topic.
I looked at that and said, oh man,
Um,
this looks like a challenge.
They're not going to get charged.
Okay.
I mean, unless for some reason they spray paint something on a
Yeah.
sidewalk, or or do property damage. There's, like you said, there's no way for us to
Right.
prove that the trash is from them.
Right.
So
Appreciate the honesty there. I mean, I was hoping you had come up with a great, no,
No.
we're going to have Amber go out there and track them down
no,
with a bill
nope,
and make them pay.
no, we're not going to send Stu. We're not going to send Pat. We're not going to send any of them.
Okay.
I think it's just in there for,
As a potential.
I guess, yeah.
Doesn't mean we have to actually use it. Got it. And the last thing I had, I think there was a typo. It talked about creating a Article 5 or an Article 7 at the very first Section 1 on the first page. And it kind of confused me right out. Section 1, Chapter 5. They're going to add and establish a new Article 7, and then right below that, they call it Article 5. You see what I'm seeing?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's talking about a new Article 7, but I think it's an Article 5.
So it's in Chapter 5, but
That's what it says.
it's in Chapter 5, but it's in Article 7, the 700s of
Okay.
the book. So it should say Article 7
Gotcha.
is what it should do.
Okay.
So we'll get that fixed.
That's all I had.
Any other comments or, personally, as mayor, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a start. It gives us an opportunity to have something that we can work at, a parameter that we require for individuals coming into our community and wanting to operate mobile food trucks. Is it the end all? Absolutely not. Maybe in the future we might have to improve it. I don't know. That's for the future to tell, but I think it's a very good start. I appreciate Jay and them taking the time to go through and because it was bannered back and forth several different times over how we work it and how we don't. And I think this is a very good, viable, workable ordinance.
When you guys were talking, because just because this happened, a lot of it was before I got on here. I'm assuming that somebody had talked to organizations like the Maple Leaf Festival people and other ones just to see if it would have any kind of an. They're exempt. Oh,
they're exempt.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's in there.
Sorry, I was just getting to that
Yeah,
exemptions
they're-
part.
they're-
Okay.
It's in there.
They're
All right.
exempt.
Perfect.
Yeah, because we thought about that and we knew that'd be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
And those are all non-tax revenue people. I mean, they're fundraising, so they're not for profit.
Mm.
So, yeah, yeah,
Perfect. Thank you.
yeah. And I think there's a couple other ones that are in there too, but so. And then if we, down the road, if someone wants to try to put one more on there on the exempt list, well, we can always listen. But those were the two big ones that we thought. So
So if they are denied an application, are they told right away that they aren't going to get one?
So basically they have to turn in all their information, and then we go through and review the application to make sure all the information's there. And then the city clerk, Amra, would reach out to them to let them know that they're either, approved or denied.
Okay.
But that's usually a pretty fast process.
Okay, well, I was just a little confused because they were talking about, they would notify the people in writing and it would be mailed to the applicant, and I thought, surely they need to know before that.
Yeah, and we would call, but we'd also send out something. like
Okay.
that, too.
That sounds good.
Yeah, comments or suggestions? Now, since it's the first reading, do we make the motion and accept it on the first reading?
No.
Just go through and
go one more, right?
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
we could vote on this at the next council.
Okay,
meeting.
good. And then we ask that the one correction be made that Scott pointed out. Okay, good. Thank you. So that's the old business.
We open up for public comment.
Public comment. Thank you.
For whoever knows, the 200 feet, Russ, you had mentioned you checked into other communities on the insurance. How was the distance arrived at?
That was pretty much
Is that a pretty standard?
standard through all municipalities around us.
Okay,
Unless you would have let's just say you'd have another business that would sign off on you. Let's just say you wanted to park right in front of El Patron, and it's a cotton candy truck. If El Patron would sign off on them being there, then it's fine too.
and thank you, because I was going to ask about snow cone, wagons, because we've seen those over the years. And the measuring, is it from, because this came up years ago with liquor licenses, is it from property line to property line?
Parcel line.
Parcel to parcel? Good, good. That just makes it easier for staff to just
Correct. There's no
know
guessing.
this inch over. And then I guess the last thing is what's considered a food establishment is Casey's, because they sell pizza, or Quick Shop, or a little coffee shop because they have breakfast sandwiches. Is that applicable to all those types of food establishments?
Yes. So I mean,
Probably.
as long as they have a food license,
License?
they're inspected by the state.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Tina. We're good. We move on to the next order of business, which is revenue neutral notice to the county clerk. Who wants to lead off?
Looks like
Yep.
Matt.
don't want to, but I, feel obligated because I like you guys.
We'll give Matt the floor.
Okay, so this is a motion that essentially gives you the ability to potentially exceed your revenue neutral rate when you get to budget time. They require that you report to the county basically the cap on what you could potentially adopt that's above the revenue neutral rate at this point. So you're not adopting anything now, but you are establishing that you will not adopt above 45.4 mils total for when you adopt budget. So you still have the option of going with revenue neutral rate. You still have the option of, lowering, you still have the option of increasing, but not above 45.4 mils.
Matt, I know who you are, but can you please name and business so for the citizens out here who might?
With Baker Tilly,
Good. Thank you, sir.
School Advisors.
Russ?
So one thing I'll add is that we got the proposed valuations, back from the county. The thing is, we have to declare by July 20th, which means we have to make a decision at this meeting. So we can't wait till the next one because the next one's the 21st, but I have to turn this in by the 20th. Like Matt was saying, this does not lock us in to anything. This just gives us more time. And this doesn't mean that, we could go revenue neutral in the end. But this gives us the time and the due diligence that we can do with department heads and along with the council.
Good. Questions? Comments from the public? I think we're good to go.
We have to vote.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call. Okay. I'll start with Jay.
To have a motion.
Oh, okay. Thank you. You're not doing your job, Scott, keeping me on sinners here.
Gotta let you fly it sometime. I think you just hit the ground. Sorry.
Is this a motion to approve?
This is a motion to exceed the revenue neutral rate.
Oh,
I would word it as such. Baldwin City hereby notifies Douglas County Clerk of intent to exceed the revenue neutral rate of going no more than 45.400 mils.
okay. All right. Baldwin City there hereby notifies the Douglas County Clerk of the intent to exceed the revenue neutral rate at no more than 45.4 mils. All in favor, say aye. No?
Roll call.
Oh, okay.
Somebody has to second it.
Second it.
And I will,
have to call
I
roll
will
call.
second it.
Okay.
Now we can do it.
You're going to second it?
Yes.
Okay. Jay,
Yes.
Peter.
Yes.
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Julie. Motion passed. Okay. Through the revenue neutral notice to county clerk. Next thing we move on, the item of the agenda is budget and finance. Scott?
Yeah, we have not met since the previous council meeting. Next meeting is Friday, this Friday at 9 a.m., second floor, City Hall.
Okay. Okay. Do you have anything community development there, Peter?
No, we
Or
don't
is he
have.
absent?
Yeah, we don't have anything set up right now. I know that he's on vacation. We were planning to get something set up when he gets back. And I just talked with Pat tonight. He said there's not any agenda items that he has specifically for it, but I think we'll still have a meeting in the near future.
Good. Thank you. Public safety, Jay.
I haven't met.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Public works, Julie.
We haven't met either. Our next meeting is this Thursday and the time has changed to 8:30 for this particular meeting instead of 9 o'clock. And that'll be at the Public Works Building.
Good. Thank you.
Mhm.
Lake Advisory, Jay, anything?
We were supposed to meet tonight, but unfortunately we canceled so people could go to a service for one of their friends. So
Good. Thank you.
I do have an update for you on strategic
Go ahead.
planning. We did meet, and we'd like to propose the council has a strategic planning workshop. The intent of that would be to review the strategic plan, obviously get ideas, thoughts, changes that the council wants to see. Then also discuss whether we want to redo the community survey we did 3 years ago in 2023. We're trying to figure out whether we paid for a second survey or not with ETC, the company that did the survey, but that will be something that we need to discuss whether we want to do that. And if so, when. Then also as part of that, what we did last time in 2023 is we did the electric utility reliability report. And we need to discuss if that's something we want to update as well. I'm not sure if it already is, but it's something that we did. We need to decide if we want to continue to do that. So proposed date was Wednesday, the 29th of July. See if that works for you guys or not.
Wednesday, July 29th,
I just
time.
7 o'clock
be
here
7, be
at the community
an
center.
hour. Keep it to an hour
Yes.
if everybody can make it.
Is everybody good with that?
Checking.
Okay, good.
Jay?
I'm checking. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to know if it's
Okay.
until I talk to my wife
Gotcha.
to make sure.
Fair enough.
She's the calendar czar.
And Cora's not here either, so if we need to move it, we can move it.
Tentative.
Yeah.
So good. Okay. Anything else in regards to that?
No next meeting planned other than the 29th if we stick to that date
Okay, good.
for this committee.
Thank you. Come to the section now, city administrator and staff comments.
Just, one comment is, next Tuesday night, July 14th, at 7 o'clock, right here at the community center, we will be having the budget workshop meeting, where department heads will be coming forward and talking about their budgets. So that'll be next Tuesday night.
7 o'clock, correct? Council?
No, nothing at this time.
Amber, nothing? Okay.
I have a comment. I've been approached about the fireworks ordinance that we have, and I tend to bring this up every year. And people are not happy with the loud noise, especially the big loud booms. And I don't. I'm part of that too. I don't like it either, but it's always a council decision. So anyway, I did want to bring it up. I told someone I would, and so
Thank you.
I promised the citizen I'd bring it up as well, so thank you. And I agree, my wife agrees, that some of the size of some of these that are being shot within the city limits are they're not normal stuff you buy in the stands. So I would be always in favor of trying to do something that, impacts very few, because not a lot of people are doing that, but the few that were certainly created issues for a lot of people. If we could somehow curtail that, ideal. I don't know how you do it. I think you got 3 issues. First of all, how do you define what's allowed or what isn't? That's issue number 1. Second is you develop an ordinance with the appropriate penalties, which you'd have to figure out how to do. And then the third one, which is always a problem for any ordinance, is how do you enforce it? So I'd be willing to try to figure out some way to try to limit, I think the size of the fireworks that the city allows you to explode, but I just don't know how you describe it to make it to where somebody could understand it.
Well, part of it would have to be the size of the shell.
If that's how you would do it, yeah, like a
That would-
3-inch,
I mean,
4-inch, yeah.
Because like when they do the fireworks out at the
Right.
golf course, if it's over a certain amount of the inches,
Right.
certain amount over, you have to be so many feet back And so you could get them on that if they're
Right.
breaking that as well. So there's, I mean, if it's a professional firework, there's probably ways around it to, you know.
Yeah, I think they would exempt obviously the city.
No, yeah.
But
That, yeah, I know. But I'm saying like if they can't buy it in the tent that from here,
Right.
then because I don't even know what size the shell those are, but they're not the ones that people are complaining about.
No, we all know the ones that are they shake your house.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's something the council wants to take another run at. We kind of tweak this thing every year.
We can definitely look at it in public safety.
Yeah, just
Um,
maybe come up with something that's
But
step in the direction. It may help, it may not.
I know the biggest question that's going to come up is one you've already brought up is how do we enforce?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
because if we don't catch them in the act,
yeah,
it's hard.
it is. I mean,
I
yeah.
I love fireworks, but I agree with you guys too that, I mean, if you can't buy them in the stand, you should be able to
Right.
do it in the city limits.
Right.
I mean,
And,
do whatever you want in the county.
and I think the duration of it, how many days that they can do it, should be looked at too.
My only rebuttal on that, and I don't disagree, but I'm just saying, I know the former mayor, his big thing was to make sure there was a weekend. So as long as the 4th falled on a Friday or a Saturday, I think those years maybe we could shorten it a little bit if we wanted to. But if it fell on a Wednesday or something or a Thursday, I'd like
Yeah.
to see at least a weekend day before it if someone wanted to celebrate. But I would be willing to revisit that yearly as the 4th fell on.
Right.
I think that,
Yeah, if the council wants to look at it every year, I mean, that's one way to do it. I think what we have in there is kind of a hands off. It will always guarantee a weekend day,
mm-hmm,
the way it's set up, but then it's also 7 days long,
mm-hmm.
right? So, I mean,
And I would also like to see, before we made any drastic changes on it, sales tax wise, how much sales tax did we make on, say, June 27th to June 31st?
mhm.
And then we could maybe see about taking a day or two off like you would like to see it shortened, and then maybe that's more of the compromise we go with for the people that don't like fireworks, and vice versa. But I agree, getting the ones that you can't buy out of the tents, we probably need to find a way. But I think it's going to take us all putting our heads together to figure out how to do that.
The league actually did have a 2018 update that is a little bit easier to enforce. I do agree how the ordinance is currently written is very difficult for enforceability, but their updates are very realistic, very enforceable. And then I have a few other ideas on things that could be tossed around and tweaked and thrown in as well. But Jerry spoke with me about this in advance, and I've already done some research on it, so I can get some of my recommendations on a proposed ordinance change to the Public Safety Committee probably before the end of the month.
Okay.
Peter, anything? Yeah, I was going to say, thanks for bringing it up because I know Julie brought up, I was going to bring it in our council mayor comments. I agree. I had one written complaint from a citizen in the community sent to me, and I think almost all people were CC'd as well as me. And and I had a verbal complaint, what I refer to as a verbal complaint. Someone complained to me about, hey, what's going on with this? And, what are you going to do? So I just think it's good that we go back and revisit it and try to figure something else out. I don't think it ever hurts to look and try to fine tune or do whatever. That you're right, that the issue of enforcement becomes the problem. And really the only agency I ever worked for that enforced it was the city of Lenexa, and they had fire trucks roaming the neighborhoods. And when they'd see something, hear something, they would call the PD. The PD would show up. The firemen would sign the complaint because they saw it. Then they would have to appear in court. And you know what? That just didn't work real well. Honestly, it just didn't.
Well, and our volunteers aren't going
Yeah,
to do
it's
that.
just, but I mean, I'm just saying that's the only way I've ever seen it enforced. I've never seen it enforced any other way. So you're right. How do we enforce it? So anyway, I think it's just worth visiting. I agree. get through our budget, see where we are, and go from there.
I think it also partially goes on. I mean, you know who your neighbors are. Be nice to your neighbors and be considerate. You know, if you have an Army veteran or a military veteran next to you that has PTSD or something, maybe don't light them right next to them. But
Yeah.
maybe that's too easy.
Yeah. Very good. Anything else in regard to the fireworks? Anyone, any comments? The other thing I wanted to comment is I got a couple complaints this weekend, 4th of July, or I guess there was a power outage or a surge or a blip or a technical term.
Power blip.
Power what?
Power blip.
Power blip. And I got 2 complaints on it. And one of them was kind of lengthy as to when's this going to end? We should be past this point. Why are we continue to have problems? So what I wanted to do is go directly to the source, our electrical department. If you don't want to come up here and take the stand, please. And just if you would, please kind of give an explanation of what you think, or, because the questions were, why are we receiving this? Will we continue to receive this? If we are, how can we handle this? I'm asking you to please deliver an answer to that, if you can.
Yeah, so welcome everybody tonight. Russ, at your request, asked us to come kind of give an idea of how to reply to this email that was sent to you and then was forwarded to us. I kind of wanted to start out with explaining why there's 2 of us here. So the way our electric department works is we split the services. So my name is Jeff Winkler. I'm power plant superintendent. And this is Pat McComb. He is director of electrical distribution. So to kind of give a quick rundown of what we do, I'll tell you what I do, and then he can tell you what he's up against. So basically, what my department does is we handle the generation side of it. We handle the operation and maintenance on the generators. We handle wholesale power acquisitions and contracts. We work with KMEA on scheduling not only generation, but also scheduling all of our power purchase agreements. We also do substation operation and maintenance. We have daily eyes on, as soon as the second substation is online, it'll be both substations and both power plants on a daily basis, 365 days a year. So on top of that, so that's just kind of where we break up, and I'll let him describe what he does. But so to answer some of the questions from this email that I received, I'll try to do my best of how I can answer on my department's side. Some of my department's responsibilities to the reliability of the system is we do a scheduled maintenance on all of our equipment, whether it be generation, whether it be the engines themselves, whether it be uninterruptible battery supplies, UPS systems. We have a scheduled time frame of either maintenance, upgrading, inspections, replacement when it comes to the batteries, that kind of a thing. We do relay and breaker inspections on both power plants and will soon to be both substations. You mentioned the outage log. I handle that. I have not completed 25. I have my information from the relays. I just need to get with his crew and get their notes from their outages, and I will do that soon and get that submitted to you. It's kind of been on my list, but it keeps getting worked to the bottom. I think what we'll see and what we saw in 24, our last completed year, was that our total customer minutes. Now I track 2 things on this. The first one being customer outages times minutes. So let's say we had a circuit with 1,000 customers on it. If they were out 60 minutes, and then there's your, 60,000 customer minute. Then we also track individual events. So was it a squirrel? It was just a blip. There was no, the relay didn't open, the circuit breaker didn't open, but it was a blip that people saw. So I tracked number of events and then the customer outage minutes. So what we saw in 24 from 23 was we had a definite drop in customer minutes and we had a slight drop in events. And I think 25 is going to repeat that again because we really had no extended outages for 25. You know, we might have a circuit that was out for 45 minutes or something, but we had no long-term whole city events during 25. So as soon as I get that done, I'll share that with you. But I think what we're seeing is reduced total outages and the events are probably steady to slightly less every year. One thing I really like to work on, and I think is very important, is employee retention. Both of our trades are highly skilled, and they're awful hard to find somebody who wants to do this. So that is one of my biggest things, and I think Pat's as well, is to try to keep their employees because my department takes 2 years to even train. You walk in the door, you're 2 years before you can operate equipment. It's that extensive a training. So if we lose somebody, it's a huge detriment to our system when we only have 3 within our group. And I think Pat can probably, you know, say the same thing about his group.
Yeah, ours is 4 years, so.
Yeah. So I think that is one thing that we both really strive to do. But, you know, if we're not keeping our wages where they need to be, then we can only do so much. We can provide as good an environment, you know, as we can, but we need your guys' help as well as keeping our wages where they need to be so we don't have people leaving. Another thing that we do is we work with Evergy on reliability issues that affect Baldwin. Let's say they're having some issues with the feed, we're having low voltage, we're having blips through them. We contact them as well. I know Pat has a very good reputation with some of the line crew, and I have a pretty good reputation with our customer service rep for this area. So between the two of us, we can each get on the phone and call the respective divisions and, you know, find out what we got going on. So,
You know, I'm sorry if I can interrupt you for just a moment, please.
Sure.
I think for me, the question is, are we going to be able in the future to minimize these little blips? I mean, I know you're always going to have them. You cannot rule out nature, you know, whatever the case may be. But I think that's kind of, we're working to get rid of the blips, so to speak. So, and will that help when we get our new substation online?
It's gonna help when we get that line built that's going around town.
Okay.
There's 4 circuits on these new poles we're putting in. Right now, we've got everything laid out on arms, so they're farther out than normal. They got sag in them now because they're not tied in solid. When we're having all this wind that.
Yeah, because we had an incredible amount of wind here last week, just
Yeah.
constant,
and
day after day after day.
The lines start.
Right.
I'll gallop. Now we've also got brand new wire strung down through these poles. Some of it is very close. The problem we're having now is when those lines start galloping, they are getting into that
Okay.
line that we're putting the new stuff on. That's what we found yesterday or today.
Were you going to say something, Counselor?
Yeah, she told me to get to the mic.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's what we found today while we were stringing in the rope so we could start pulling wire tomorrow. And they seen where it had arced off of that existing cable.
Okay.
That was due to high winds coming in. They start galloping. Come out. And you can't find it unless you're right there when it happens.
All right.
But we also had some tree issues because of the fact that we've got the lines laid out right now, so they're closer to the trees than what they had been. And with the winds blowing like that, it was blowing the trees into that line because we've got it moved out 5 foot farther than what it was.
Okay. Good. Thank you. Jeff, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to apologize to cut you off. Did you have, you know, both of you understand you have my absolute faith in what you do and how you perform your work. I really do. Because again, knowing people in Johnson County who would go 2 and 3 days without power, I think you guys do a fantastic job. I really do. And, you know, yes, I will admit I'm human. I get a little annoyed sometimes by the blip. And I know some people go, well, you know, it actually damages my microwave or whatever. I'm not an electronic technician, but I just kind of wanted to give the public some answer. And I think you've supplied that and done that very well. Council, do you have questions or comments?
I just working with Pat, and I don't work with Jeff as much, but I do work with Pat, and as much prep work as they do with the trees around town and preparing our city for weather events, and for us to not have any weather events during this whole storm season is a big credit to Pat and his crew, because they did prep work. So we're complaining about blips, and I get that that is frustrating, but I think we're the only town that didn't lose power during an actual weather event. When Vinland was out, everyone that lived a mile outside of our town was out, but we weren't. And it's a credit to Pat and his crew. And Jeff, I'm sure, is behind the scenes at the powerhouse doing, you know, making sure we don't get out of power. So, but
I agree. Keep up
So-
the good work.
but you guys are doing a great job. I feel like you're kind of on trial here, and it's
No,
unfair.
you're not. And I don't want you to feel that way.
It's not that big
No.
a deal.
So
Now this year, yeah, there is more trees going on because we haven't been working on them this year because we've been working on building this line. But I only got 4 guys. So
Yeah.
yeah,
you want the new substation online or do you want the town taken care of? That's
No, it's priorities. And
you're doing the best. You're
I at
doing the
least
best
wanted-
you can.
just, you know, as what Jay saying, I agree with, and maybe I just wanted the public to understand it's a lot more complex than just what we think.
right. And like I said, I just don't have the time right now to get back onto the trees and try to build this power line.
I think what everybody's interested in, you guys know what the issues are. You know what causes them. You know how we could remediate them, which is going to cost. I mean, what I heard was we got line sagging. The only way to fix that is to go restring the lines
That's what we're doing.
on all of them.
The ones that are sagging.
Okay.
That's what the
it's
reason
ju-
they are sagging right now is because we got them laid out.
And then once they
So
finish,
it's just a process that's going to take X amount of time that should positively impact
Yeah.
that piece of it. So it's those types of things like, you know, we talked about the wildlife events and the trees, and you've got a plan for that. And then it comes down to, I don't have enough people to go as fast as we would all like. The only way we can do that is we add more people. How much do you want to spend? And if we really want to get rid of all these problems, we put everything underground, and nobody can afford to do that.
Yeah.
So it's really,
Hire more people quicker than you can put that all underground.
it really is trying to find that balance of, you know, what it's going to cost you to make it, you know, highly available, which is unaffordable. And then what are we doing? You guys know you constantly are working on the things that are causing the issues, and it takes time to do that and takes money to do that. And so it's a slow progression to fix those issues. But you all know what they are, and you're all working on them. I think that's the point.
Well, these blips that we've been having for the last 2 weeks should be pretty much over with as of tomorrow. Because once we get this new line strung in,
Good.
we will cut the existing ones loose and there will be no more chance for it to blip through. So
Good
Okay.
news.
Yeah, but please don't feel like you're on trial. That's not it. I don't even want that. That's,
I'm just letting you know that we
thank you.
stumbled across it when we were stringing the rope in today so we could start pulling. And they seen that it was only about a 2-inch gap. So when it started to gallop down there, it was just tapping, which was just making your lights go. That's it.
Anybody
Good.
else? Gentlemen, you have my full support. Keep up the good work. Thank you for taking your time to come in and explain this to people like me and to the community. And I really appreciate it. And like I said, just keep it up. Keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Mhm.
Anybody else? Before we end, I really want to thank Bolton City Parks and Rec. I was up there for the 4th of July event. Well done. And Jay, you might go, that's kind of above my pay grade with Matt, but you guys did a fantastic job.
Well, thank
You
you.
really did. I saw people enjoying it, enjoying themselves and families. Thank you. I think that makes Baldwin City stand out on the map. So thank you very much. And thank Matt.
I will.
and
I'll
everyone
accept
involved in
his-
that.
I'll accept his thank you on his behalf
And
today.
everyone involved in that, from the PD to city workers, everyone. Then I also got a good note on Jay here for a second. I bothered this poor man on his vacation the day before July 4th. He's down at Table Rock. We had a citizen who had an issue who called me on the phone and was concerned about it. I called out, left a message with Jay. Within 10 minutes, the problem was solved. He called me back. It's been taken care of. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate that.
No problem.
Very nicely, but stepped up for the community. Good job. Thank you. Don't forget, July 18th is the city meet and greet. Please understand it is not an official city council forum, nor is it a town hall. It's just kind of an opportunity to come in, meet some of the elected officials. I'm not endorsing anyone campaigning over the other. Everyone's welcome to come, just some light refreshments and just a general conversation. So feel free. And I would also leave this we're in the budget process, and I have been through budget processes before in other municipalities, but not this one. And I would encourage any citizen out there who has issues or questions about the budget, how the city operates, how it's put together, I would encourage you to attend those sessions that are open so you can see how this is all constructed. Because to use this term, there's a lot of moving parts to it. So that's all. Anyone else have any comments or questions? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you and good night.